I'm all for USB Type-C outside of the fact, like, my only gripe with Type-C is for the long-term user, which you and I are not, is the fact that over time the port tends to break.
But Samsung does have another complementary device that is doing quite well, if you ask me. I think it's a very, very solid number 2 in the tablet game. They recently released the Tab S9. Am I gonna? Let's go.
Michael's taking over Omar.
Let's go. I played him in tennis. He's a killer, man. This guy knows how to play tennis.
As far as the new iPhone and as far as the AI is concerned, I think they are we're definitely gonna see some pretty amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the FlipaForum Podcast. My name is Omar.
My name is Misha Sheesh, a.k.a. Mikey Mike.
And I'm just Samir.
Today, we're going to talk about a lot of exciting stuff. We're going into that time of the year where tech becomes a thing again. We will talk about iPhones coming out in September. So I know, Mike, you wanted to talk about some updates there.
100%.
We'll also talk about Samsung and the new releases they have with the Flip5 and Fold5. We've got boxes here to unbox as well. So those units are available.
Can't wait for that.
And we will compare those to last year's model and see what's different. Woo, woo, woo. So let's get right into it.
Oh yeah. And if you guys don't forget, stay tuned till the very end. We got some fun tech trivia, and we cannot wait to play. We got a little twist on how we're going to do this today. Akshay, you got a brand new game for us today, right? We're going to be playing off of the iPad or the iPhone or something like that?
Yeah, Kahoot.
I think so.
Kahoot. Have you guys heard of Kahoot before?
Yeah, I have Kahoot. We use it at a corporate level.
Nice.
It's really good for team building, and I'm really excited to play it here today. So, cool. Akshay, I hope you've got easier questions this time around, compared to what we had
last time. I loved it. Perfect.
Yeah, sweet.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember, but about a month ago, we did this unique podcast where we hosted a phone award show. It was the mobile phone award show.
Yes.
And there's this one particular question that I asked you guys. What phone was the bust of the year?
Yes.
And we had a unanimous decision, and that phone was the Samsung Flip 4. Now, my question to you, Omar, I know you're the Samsung guy here. Will the Samsung Flip 5 regain the title of the bust of the year, or did Samsung make a difference this year?
Okay. July 26th, much anticipated day in the Android community. That is the day Samsung released its new lineup of foldables, namely the Flip 5, the Fold 5, obviously the new Tab 9 Ultra, and the Watch. I have had every single generation of the foldables, from the first Fold to Fold 4.
Yes.
I never touched the flip phone because to me it didn't make sense. The cover screen was always tiny. Not for me.
I agree, 100%, yeah.
Year over year, for the first time, I still went for the Fold, but this is the first time that I've actually got a Flip here as well. And the biggest reason for me was that cover screen.
Yeah.
I've been using the phone now for about a week. What I love about it is, as a secondary phone to me, it provides me with all of the information that I need at a glance. I'm able to interact with friends and family. Obviously, when I'm on the go, I don't really need to be on my phone. And it's not a distraction. A quick text, a quick video, a quick call, all happens on the cover screen. So I think between these guys, between the Fold and the Flip will definitely be a winner this year.
Question for you. What percentage of time do you actually use that front functional part of the screen as opposed to opening it up in unfolded mode?
In the week that I've had this phone, mind you, this is my secondary device. It's not my primary device. Most of what I need done happens on my iPhone, and that's my go-to. But this secondary device, obviously, friends, family, what have you, I think 80+% of the time I'm just using the cover screen. I have yet to unfold and, play a game or watch a video on this screen. This format is a little taller than your average candy bar phone.
Yeah.
But that cover screen, it's for me, it's everything. I love it. It's really practical. and in comparison to previous generations, it's getting a lot more done. So I know like when Samsung introduced the phone, they said there's going to be 5 widgets available for use.
Yeah.
However, obviously through Samsung's own software, we're able to now use apps like obviously Netflix, YouTube is already there, but then we have messages, WhatsApp, we have maps, we have games on there. Every single app on my phone you can use now on that cover screen. So I think it's really, really good for people that are also trying to detox a little bit from the day to day.
Yeah.
And it's really giving me more time back in my calendar. So I love this device.
Yeah, it seems to me like this is the first time the Flip is making more noise than the Fold. And, if you bring it back to the very, very first flip phone that ever came out, you got the Flip, then you got the 5G, then you got the Flip 3, and then the Flip 4, correct?
Yeah.
And then it seems like the Flip 3 and the Flip 4 were kind of quiet. Nobody really talked about it. It was always kind of like a bust of the year topic. And then all of a sudden, this year, the Flip 5 is making so much noise. So you're telling me all Samsung really had to do was increase the front size of the screen and they're going to make some noise? Like
More or
Fix the hinge too.
Yeah, well, they fixed the hint. I think it's an ongoing process, of course, but it's just shocking to me that such a little minor adjustment, in my opinion, it's minor, right? The overall functionality of the phone is exactly the same. It's still a folding phone. It's just, I guess, the one complaint that most people had was the front-facing screen.
Yeah.
Especially with Motorola coming out with their new device, and now they had a competitor such as Motorola, which has in my opinion, a better looking front scrn. It has, it's the screen that has it's like curved around the camera edges and stuff like that. It's like it's the full component, right? So, how long do you think the hype is going to last?
So, initial reviews are out for both devices. There's been some teardown videos, some durability videos on the internet now for both devices. Motorola has a fatal flaw. The top center of the screen is prone to cracking because there's like an empty gap underneath it.
That makes sense.
And I have not heard of like Motorola Care or something equivalent to that. So I don't know what that process is going to look like. And like if you look at older Motorola's, the hinge it's not the same. It doesn't function the same. It's not the same experience. Samsung will dominate the space. Even if it's not the prettiest looking device, they will dominate the space because of the support that they're providing their consumers, because of obviously the Gen 2 processor with Samsung being offered for Galaxy. It's designed for Galaxy, so it's optimized. And then the best thing is that it is a more durable product. They're using Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which obviously if you look at some of the videos, you'll see that they've done a few drop tests. And it has stood that test of time. Over time, we will see, obviously, the device will get scratched and what have you. But if you compare this to the Flip 4 and the Flip 3 before it, those devices have held up relatively okay.
Yeah.
What we've now put on the front is a glass that is equivalent to the S23 series of this year, which makes it far more appealing for a lot more people.
Yeah. Question I had for you about the actual hinge. Because it's such a... it's a mechanism that's constantly opening and closing.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to when that function could potentially break?
Yeah, Samsung says that the the hinge on these devices is good for about 500,000 folds.
500,000 folds. And that's been
folds.
tested?
Yeah, there's a lot of tests currently on the internet, even for the Flip 5, where they were comparing it to the Motorola Razr side to side. And one of the reviews, there was a live stream I was watching. They were up to 50,000 folds. And after 50,000 folds, the Flip 5 was fine. There was no issues whatsoever. However, the Motorola, the hinge had given way in a way where when you would close it, it would not close anymore, right?
Understood.
So 500,000 folds is a marketing number. I mean, we all know it. That does not include the fact that it's taking the day-to-day wear and tear and like going in and out of your pocket and what have you. But I've had all 5 generations, or now all 4 generations of the Fold. I have yet to break one while opening and closing it shut.
Yeah.
And now with the bigger cover screen on the Flip, I feel like I will have more of my stuff done on that smaller screen, and I won't need to open it up as much. And if I still break it, I have Samsung Care.
Yeah, it's the problem with these foldable devices. I don't know how long these phones will actually last. The problem with, I guess, the resale value with these type of things is, when you look at things like, phones or MacBooks, you're able to, somewhat measure it in terms of battery cycles, or on cameras, you got the shutter counts and stuff like that.
Right.
When it comes to the folding stuff, you're unable to measure stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to say, okay, I buy a pre-owned device. Let's say it's a Flip 3 or a 5G model, one of the older ones. And let's say this thing was heavily used by an individual for years and it's approaching the end of cycle. The problem is you can't measure stuff like that. So would you recommend somebody to kind of stay away from these devices long term, or would you take a risk on them?
So again, coming from experience, if you are a user that really just relies on their phone for work, they depend on their device, they only use the one phone, I would say just stay away from foldables for now.
Okay.
If you are a two-device kind of person where you have like a personal and a work phone, there's no harm in trying a foldable. They're really good. They've come a really long way. But the best thing is, if you're someone who wants to move away from always being on their phone, then maybe the Flip is for you. Or you're someone who doesn't want an iPad along with their phone, then maybe the Fold is for you.
Yeah.
But if these things don't matter to you, then I would say stick to the candy bar, your iPhone, or your S23 series phone, and you're fine.
Nice.
Because I think very soon there's going to be rollables coming out, and then there's going to be more competition in the market. So don't shell out all your money, because these are expensive phones, and the more money you throw at them, the less you get back over time, because the resale is not the same as an iPhone, perhaps.
Yeah.
But the only silver lining here, Mike, is that at the end of its cycle, let's say 1 year or 2 years, even for many people it's 2 years. When you go back to buy another phone at Samsung, they are offering you ridiculous discounts, right? Right now, I think Samsung has discounts that are so good that you're probably paying not much to get one of these devices. You can give them an older phone. So if someone had an older Flip, they can trade it in for a new one, which is ridiculous,
Yeah.
So that's the only silver lining for consumers.
Fair enough.
I just had a quick question
Sure.
about the demographics. I was on YouTube and I was watching a lot of young people. I kind of noticed a lot of young people are leaning towards it just because of how convenient, easy it is to use. The fact that it is foldable, and then they can do their selfies, or they can take quick videos, and upload it to. So I kind of thought that would make a difference to somebody in that age range, to kind of give it a try.
And that makes sense. So these two phones are for two different consumers, right? Okay. The Flip5 is for
the TikTokers,
the TikTokers, the day-to-day users, the folks that create hype, have fun with it. The Fold, on the other hand, in all of the years using it, we've got the Fold 4 here as well. It's a great phone still. But I think what's really good about these devices is the fact that you can use it as a phone on your day-to-day, and then obviously you can use it as a computer. You can sign PDFs, you can read documents easier, you can consume content easier, and it's just a better experience as compared to a candy bar phone. If you look at a foldable phone, I'm talking about the Fold now, these are basically equivalent to the communicator, the 95 and 9300 communicator that Nokia had.
Yeah.
This is that phone. It's not for everyone, but it delivers a lot in, let's say, relatively less space. So for Android users, it's an excellent device.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing that I noticed with Samsung, they do this every single year. I want to bring it back to the price point. They always tend to sell the higher storage models for the exact same price as the lower storage models. And I believe this is the first time they're not selling the 128 gigabyte variant.
There's only a 256. And if you
512.
you pre-order the device, they actually bump up your storage to 512.
Nice. So that's where you're getting the same price point.
Right.
Okay. That's very interesting, actually. Samsung has a very unique approach when it comes to selling their initial product, something different from Apple, of course.
Yeah.
I'd like to actually see a side-by-side comparison.
Sure.
I'm hearing that this folded, it being in folded state looks very visually appealing. It's straight. It's you don't see any of those gaps as much.
That's actually
The
one
gap
of the
is
reasons
gone.
why I got it this year.
Yeah.
If you watch an
The
older
death
episode,
of the gap.
on the older episodes, you'll find me saying that I won't get it, but here it is.
Yeah.
So this is the Fold 4.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a pretty visible
Let's see
gap
that.
here in the middle.
Yeah, so you guys can literally see that over here. A very visible gap over here, right? And then apparently on the Flip 5, this is going to be my first time actually seeing the new Flip 5.
There is none.
Oh, wow, that is just beautiful.
So if you compare them,
Would
side
you
to
guys
side-
look at that? Just look at that. Just look at that.
That's amazing.
No,
Gap
that's
is
incredible.
gone.
It is.
Let's put this side by side so you guys can see. This is only 1 year difference. See that? Actually, you getting that nice? Yeah. That looks beautiful. No, this is in terms of weight, they're very similar. I can see the camera bump also at the back looks slightly different. Can you very different actually. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. So what they did is the cameras on the Fold 4 are recessed into, I guess, the frame, but they wanted to make it a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter. So the cameras protrude now a little bit more. They're still the same cameras, but one is running Android 8 Gen 1, the other one's running 8 Gen 2. So the picture quality ultimately is a little bit better on the Fold 5. So ultimately, they're both really good machines, but one of the biggest gripes I had is when I would carry two phones, Mike, it would be this and an iPhone, and I'm struggling here.
Yes.
That no longer exists with the Fold 5. So it's...
I must say, like, it looks very visually appealing. Just look at that. It looks like it's perfect. Wow.
And here,
And I would assume that they did a similar type of thing here with the Flip.
here it is. I'll let you fold it yourself. for the
Beautiful
first
phone.
time.
Okay. Now that is beautiful.
And we've set that up. The Flip 5 has actually been set up. You can power it on. We can play around with the cover
Nice.
screen.
So you guys can see that. Also, no gap anymore.
Same size.
Very beautiful
Same
device.
size,
Let's turn this guy on and see what's going on here. I'd love to really see what's going on here on the front screen. And it's very comfortable to
It
hold
is,
in the
it
hand
is.
in this setup over here. Very, very cool. I might actually consider this device, even though I'm not a Samsung or Android user. You know, I would definitely consider this being like a secondary phone or some sort. But yeah, so guide me through here a little bit. I don't know how to use this thing.
No problem. So we've just reset the device. And okay, so this is obviously what your phone looks like on a day-to-day. This is your average candy bar phone. But
Yep.
when you close this one up, here is basic information. Obviously, that's your lock screen with the clock, with the
Yeah,
weather
yeah.
information. But if you swipe to
That's,
your
that's nice. And what
That's
kind of
all your
what's the
apps.
refresh rate on the screen?
120 hertz,
120
same as
hertz.
what you get on the
both.
internal screen.
Very nice, very nice.
Then you've got your phone.
Come
call.
on, iPhone 14, step it up.
It's
Yeah,
very
that's
nice.
nice.
If you
It's
play
very
around with
nice.
it, you'll see that it's a very...
What I would actually like to see is the camera functionality over here. I would like,
Sure.
so you guys can see it. It's a nice, bright, big, bright screen here, just to see how big the actual screen is. It's very nice and convenient. You can see everything on here. You can literally use this as, I see this being a convenient tool just to text. I mean, this is perfect. You know, or scroll through. Can you go scroll through Instagram? Have you done that on
Yep.
this?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. Let me pull up the camera application over here. I think this is it over here. Wow, that is nice.
If you turn it around, it'll
Let's-
give you the right orientation.
There, you can see the camera. Cool, huh? Nah, that's amazing. I like that. That's very, very cool. All right, man.
Can I see the camera?
Good phone. Absolutely. Sorry, I think I crashed it. But yeah, no,
Now you have another box over here. What's that about?
that's well, I've yet to unbox this one. This is
What
like
color is
a-
this one?
It's a cream one.
So I've noticed you avoided the blue this time. What's going on with the blue?
Well, I looked at the phone, and obviously, if anyone's used the iPhone 13
Oh, you
Pro
can
or Pro Max,
Unlock it.
that blue is a beautiful blue. It was just like a tapered down version of that blue. So I thought, you know, why not? We're probably going with nice colors this year on the iPhone. I thought, let's go with black. It's been a few years. I haven't got the black one, so
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that beige though. I'm surprised they didn't release a beige color or a cream color of some sort.
They do. They
Oh,
do
they
have
do.
a cream. They have a cream. The only, I guess, when I was making my purchase decision, I went in thinking I'll get the blue one, and then I thought of cream as second, and black was my third option. The only reason I went with black is if you look at the camera layout on the Fold 4 versus the Fold 5, the layout is better on the Fold 4. It's recessed into the frame as opposed to protruding out of the phone.
Yeah.
Which on a lighter color just makes it look less appealing. This is just me personally, and hence I went with the black one.
Gotcha. Cool stuff. Akshay, can we actually pull up on the screen the different colors? I would love to see the different colors that come in right now.
So
let's hit pre-order at the top.
go to pre-order.
So this would be for the Flip 5. That's probably the most exciting
Fold 5's
phone.
in there as well. You can select.
Okay,
Fold 5.
nice.
These are the colors for the. These are the colors for the Flip. I got the graphite. I had lavender and cream.
Mm-hmm.
But I hear gray and blue are really beautiful. Well, blue is out of stock. Clearly,
I
it's
kind of like that
color.
yellow, actually. That yellow's standing out to me for some reason. It's
It
very
is a nice
different.
color as well.
Yeah, it's kind of giving that goldish vibe,
Right.
actually, you know?
Right, with the black frame.
Yeah.
Let
Let me see that cream right underneath it compared to the. Okay, it's like a subtle white.
Well,
All right.
The biggest difference between online exclusive colors and store colors is the fact that anything you get in the store will have a gloss finish, which is easier to grip, whereas online colors are all matte finish, like the aluminum on the iPhone 12 and 13, which is a slippery. It's more slippery, so it's harder to hold. That's why.
Okay,
Skip
let's
those
check.
colors.
Let's check out the fold colors
Let's
as
go to
well.
fold.
Yeah, you're gonna scroll up all the way to the top. You're gonna go to mobile.
Right next to it. Right next to
Oh,
it.
okay.
So right there, the
Oh,
third
perfect.
one is
Okay.
Fold 5.
Okay. He's been on this website.
Oh
Clearly.
yeah, like 20 times, maybe 25, 30 times.
All right. So okay, I really like that icy blue, but that blue, that original blue is very nice as well. But in my opinion, what's the point here? They look so similar,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like Apple would never do something like that. Why the hell would you release?
I'm not entirely sure why they went that route, but I think
like even the gray and the cream,
yeah.
like they're kind of the same if you ask me.
This looks more like white more than gray, but
Yeah.
obviously
That's gray?
Yeah, that's gray, and then we've got blue, which I don't mind.
That's a
this
nice
color.
blue too.
It is,
Yeah.
but I just don't like the black. I don't like the black camera layout. It just doesn't go with. The
If it
blue.
was a silver, that would be nice for sure.
But yeah, nice colors. Still, I think cream would be my next go-to. If you see me on another episode with the cream one, you know what happened. But yeah, nice. It's a really nice phone. Packaged well, but in
What's
comparison,
the battery life like?
battery life is the same. Like, okay, let's talk about now. We're talking about everything that's great about the phone. Let's talk about what's not so great. Is the fact that the Flip 5 is a winner this year. We already talked about this. The Fold 4 and 5 are basically the same phone.
Yeah.
With an improvement to the crease, with a new processor, and that's it.
Yeah, so get ready to spend an extra $800 if you
That
want to
is
get
it.
rid of that little gap there.
If you don't care for the gap, I know a lot of people do, but if you just want to get into the foldable experience, my 2 cents will be go with a Fold 4.
Even a Fold 3 is
Even a
pretty.
Fold 3, it's
The
the
Fold
same
3, solid phone. In my opinion, I see the Fold 3 compared to the Fold 5.
Right.
Come on, not a huge difference.
The only reason why I would say Fold 4 over Fold 3 is the processor.
Yeah.
If you don't care about the processor, you're okay with a
Yeah.
slower
It's just
phone.
it's obviously the minor things,
Yeah,
but in
yeah.
terms of functionality and overall looks,
Right.
I think it hits all the spots.
So you're saying the battery is exactly the same battery?
Battery is the same. Cameras are the same. Refresh rate is the same. It's the same phone, basically. It's very disappointing. Like for me personally, I would have happily spent all this money on this guy if they had just changed the camera layout to something else.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been similar to the S23 series.
Yeah, you know what I'm shocked about? I was expecting that the Fold would at least have the same camera as the S23 Ultra.
Yeah.
You know, they're both considered, top of the line flagship devices within the brand. How would you not, add a premium camera to such an expensive device?
So Samsung's approach is that they want 2 types of phones launched in a year. The S series is the one that they want to launch with the best camera hardware, and they rely on the ability of this phone to simply fold to be the other selling point for everyone else. I personally feel like they should have put a 200 megapixel camera on this phone. It would have sold like crazy.
Yeah.
The other thing they should have done is, and this is what people complain about a lot, I really don't care about it, is the fact that they want an S Pen built into this phone.
Yeah.
But I think the reason Samsung's delaying it is they don't want to cannibalize the S series right after they cannibalize the Note series. So I think that those are the reasons why they have these 2 separate segments for these devices.
What's going on with that titanium? Is there something going on with the S series with the titanium, like compared to? Because I hear the iPhone 15 Pros, it's going to be titanium.
Well, first of all, Samsung and titanium. Is there a relationship here? Are any of the Samsung watches titanium? I know they had the stainless steel. They had the
They
aluminum.
have the stainless steel and aluminum. They call it on the phones. They call it armor aluminum.
Yeah.
I
don't believe there's any
I don't think-
Samsung.
I don't think
I
there's
don't
a
think
titanium.
Yeah.
Because Samsung really talks about yes, sporty and yes, practicality on the watch, but they haven't really gone the ultra approach yet. What Apple did with this particular model. So I think Samsung may be late to the game when it comes to titanium.
Yeah.
But again, they've got so much technology that's ahead of the Apple.
Keep in mind that's aerospace titanium. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess anything can be aerospace
You
if it wasn't space.
well, that titanium is much lighter than stainless
It
steel.
is, Samir, but like this watch, like I've had it for, we've all had it now for a year, and I use it as an everyday watch. There's no screen protector on it. I don't care for it. I have Apple Care. I've banged it against like a wall, I've fallen down a few times, and other than minor scratches, this watch is holding up perfectly.
Speaking about watches, a Samsung Watch 6 recently came out. For the first time in a long time, they didn't release a Pro model for some reason.
They're really banking on the Watch 6 Classic, which the only thing that they've bought back is the dial, which you can rotate and use the watch, go through menus and everything. Played around with a little with it, but if you've used an Apple product, an Apple Watch, it's really hard to move over to the Android side.
Gotcha.
And if I compare it to the Ultra, I still feel it's behind.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that own an iPhone would typically own an Apple Watch, but I see the people that are on the other side that own the Android devices, either if it's a Google or if it's a Samsung, a lot of times they don't have watches to add to it. And I don't think that these companies have mastered that ecosystem that we always constantly talk about. It's just so easy to use. I tried to use a Samsung watch, but I feel like I'd rather use like a Garmin watch.
Right.
Garmin watches are great if you're going to use it as a sports watch. I'd rather use that as a secondary option.
And there's so many Android watches. You can just get any. You can get a Fossil watch, which is like
exactly.
$200, and
the thing.
it's a nice
Android.
watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they added the sensor into the the one
They may have done all of that.
Skin
Samir.
sensor.
Yeah. But what the problem with the watch is, it doesn't speak to the devices the way Apple markets their communication amongst devices and their ecosystem. Samsung's more about, here's our new product line. You can get it for like 50% off.
Yeah, but Samsung does have another complementary device that is doing quite well, if you ask me. I think it's a very, very solid number 2 in the tablet game. They recently released the Tab S9, S9 Plus, and S9 Ultra, if I'm not mistaken. Why are these Android tablets doing so well in the tablet game right now?
When we talk about tablets, the best that Apple has to offer is the 12.9.
Yes.
With the M2 now. Amazing tablet. But in the Android space, these tablets can do more. Like, I'll give you a very simple example here. iPad does not support WhatsApp, for example, and the Android tablet does. They are the best in the business in terms of pixel density, in terms of like image quality, in terms of speakers, in terms of there's external SD card support as well up until the S8 Ultra that I was using. It had an SD card slot. You're giving so much more to a consumer that might say, okay, this is now this is the alternate to my computer. This is an alternate to my laptop. With an iPad, you're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Which is why they're really popular.
And don't forget, Samsung is one of the most, I guess, prevalent companies when it comes to building monitors, building TVs and stuff like that.
Right.
It would make sense for them to master such a thing that is simply a screen, right?
Is it a 14-inch?
It's a 14.6 inch. They have a 12.4, and the smallest one is an 11 inch.
Yeah.
But what they've done really well, if they've changed the concept of the tablet's orientation from portrait to landscape.
Yeah.
They've centered the camera, so when you're on a meeting, like there's a really high resolution camera that's doing all of the work for you, as opposed to here you've got to play with software to center your I guess. Image output or whatever you want to call it, but I think Samsung's ahead on the tablet side of the game. It's just that Apple is more popular. So
if I'm not mistaken, Apple has one tablet that has a camera on landscape orientation, right? I believe it's the 10th gen. If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, and they will catch on.
Yeah, it is. It's a 10th generation. I was just curious to why Apple didn't do it before, but they actually did with the 10th generation. Not on their Pro models, of course, but we might see that and potentially see a bigger size with an iPad. Who knows? Nice. A 14.5, 7-inch, whatever it's going to be. Yeah. Definitely would be great.
Is it just, one color on the...
Yeah, there's two colors. There's like a black and then the other color is similar to a cream. It's not exactly a cream. You can call it it's more like Starlight. Silver.
Is it pretty light or?
It's very light. It's actually lighter than my 12.9-inch iPad. Or similar. But it's very, very light, very nice to use. And then the colors are really vibrant. I played around with the speakers for a bit. It was really loud, punchy, and cameras are really good. Way better than iPhone. So I think, obviously, we're not going to be those folks that are in a park with an iPad taking pictures. But if you had to take pictures, like sample pictures of like stuff around you, it's got you covered.
Fair enough. Let's end it on this note. I would like for you to rate the Fold 5 and the Flip 5 out of 10. Give it a final rating.
Am I comparing them to anything or just like a...
Just give it your overall, I guess, in terms of how visually appealing is it compared to last year's models potentially.
Yeah, Fold 5, I would have given it an 8. If the Fold 4 was not as good, I mean, there's not like a significant upgrade. Like I'll give it a 7 now, based on previous models and the lack of, I guess, innovation here.
Okay.
This guy, obviously, they could have done more with the cameras. I mean, as consumers, we can always ask for more. I'll probably give this an 8.5, just because it is a marginal leap. Yes, but it is a significant one. One might say that going from a 1.9-inch screen to a 3.4 is not that big of a deal, but the implementation of what they're offering now with it goes so much further. So definitely the Flip 5 is the winner of the year, and it gets an 8.5 in my books.
Nice. In my opinion, I'd probably go something like a 6 on the Fold 5, and I'd give the Flip here a solid 8. I would potentially give it an 8.5 or a 9 if Motorola didn't do what they did this year. I'll keep it at that. But I'll give you this. This gap over here is a 10 out of 10. That is just perfect. You can't perfect that. And that's been a topic of conversation for a long time. All right, guys, I would like to keep it moving. All right, so you guys know that the iPhone 15 is right around the corner. We are about a month away now. And we're slowly starting to get some news, some leaks, some price updates. What I would like for me to do today is I'm going to go through some potential leaks, some potential price updates, some potential leaks, and I'd like to get your reaction, and we'll elaborate a little bit on how impactful is this potential feature to the upcoming iPhone 15. Okay?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's start off with the thinner bezel. What do you guys think? Do you think that's going to make a huge difference? The thinner bezel.
Personally, I think if you don't have the previous model to compare with, which many people won't, I don't think it matters. Day to day, it's nice to have, but unless and until I'm sitting with you now and I, for example, compare these two phones and we talk about the hinge and the difference. Yeah. If I don't see it like this, it's great. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so same thing with a smaller, like smaller bezels are always good. Again,
I could just see it being so visually appealing. Though right now you can still see, mind you, that bezel conversation has been such a prominent topic for the 8 Plus, then it moved on to the X, and then slowly you talked about the hinge at the top, and then it turned into the dynamic island. Right now we're almost there. Could we potentially see a bezel-less iPhone in the near future? Maybe a 15 or 16? I mean, if you're gonna go smaller on the 15 right now,
right?
It might be close to bezel-less.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. Look, as I said, having it would be nice. Is that what I personally am looking for in a new iPhone? Maybe not. There's other stuff that they're doing that I'm definitely looking forward to. A smaller bezel is always nice. I'll take it. But I think I would like to see some kind of implementation of that bezel-less display communicating with maybe the power keys, the mute switch.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's for people like us that actually care about this stuff. For the majority of the folks out there, they're not going to be, the bezel's not smaller. I'm not buying it. How about this one, guys? Titanium frame. Obviously, this has been a hot topic for the 15 Pro model specifically. We don't know if it's going to be called the 15 Pro Max or the 15 Ultra. But clearly, one Apple device that we just previously spoke about has a titanium material to it. How much of an impact will this be on the upcoming models?
Yes. Oh,
Huge?
is that how I was supposed to respond?
Do you like this color being the same? Okay.
Don't care.
You don't care about color. All you care about is just
The fact that you have titanium on a device.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll spend my money.
I think titanium is the way to go.
Because it will become so much more durable.
Yeah.
It will become lighter. And right now, the average iPhone lasts anywhere between 5 and 6 years. That's the lifespan of an iPhone. You're talking about it, increasing that lifespan.
Yeah.
Titanium, yes. Right now, we could probably, cover it like in some kind of coating, which is not done with the Watch Ultra. But after having used the product for a year, and for me personally, having even abused the product, not caring about, like, hey, I'm going to scratch it or have like whatever, it's held up really, really well. An iPhone, absolutely. No questions asked. We'll buy it.
This is the first time I'm actually noticing in a long time that iPhones are actually starting to make some drastic changes year by year. They don't have any more S models anymore, right? You remember the 7 to the 8 was, I guess, a pretty big change. It was a glass back for the first time. You were able to do wireless charging.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but previously you had the 4 to the 4S, 5 to the 5S, 6 to the 6S, and then even the 6S to the 7 wasn't much of a change. Now all of a sudden they're jumping, straight from, the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and it seems like every single year they're making some pretty big changes, especially recently. Major changes to the cameras.
Just one question about the titanium again. Wouldn't that increase the cost of production? And
we'll get
the
into that
overall
shortly.
cost?
We will definitely get into that shortly, my friend. Let's take it one step at a time.
All right.
I would definitely like to get into the potential potential pricing, future pricing of this type of stuff. But yeah, so I just like that Apple is starting to actually make things exciting again. A bigger camera bump in the back from a 12 to 13 wasn't that big of a change, but look, the 13 Pro Max ended up being one of the best-selling and most exciting devices in my opinion. And then in the dynamic island, finally something different to the hinge there, or not the hinge.
To the screen. But if you look at the difference between the 12 and the 13, one of the reasons why the 13 did really well, Mike, was the fact that we went from 60 hertz to 120 hertz. I think that was like a big selling point for many people, along with a better camera. From 13 to 14, the reason why the iPhone 14 did really well is obviously supply issues. That really drives up, fear of missing out. But then Dynamic Island did a lot of good things that the previous versions couldn't do. The 14 was a refined version of the 13. If they called it a 13S, like, people wouldn't be surprised. The 15 now obviously will pack a punch with titanium we're talking about, and also the cameras. I have, like, for the last 5 years, or maybe 4 years since the S20 came out with the astrophotography mode, I have wanted that on an iPhone. If that comes to an iPhone, I will wrap up all of this on the Android side and give it to Samir. But that is one big feature that I would love to see on an iPhone.
Okay, fair enough. Let's keep it moving. Action button replacing the mute switch.
Not a fan.
Why?
I would still like to have my mute switch.
Sure, but let's say you can make it a mute switch, but you can also make it Samir's favorite button that you always press. What's that button you always press?
TikTok.
The pissing me off button.
Pissing me off? Is that what it's called? The one where I see aliens?
Yeah, that one. The nonsense button. But no, in my opinion, I think, well, first of all, do I use this action button on the Apple Watch Ultra? In all honesty, kinda, but no, truthfully, I don't.
The reason you don't is they limit you to only 5 options. If they let you program this to, let's say, an app of your choice, banking, or anything else that you use on it, like, I would love for the action button to be my summary. Like, it's my summary of my activity. But because I'm limited to only 5 things, it's not useful. My only concern, the reason why I'm still leaning towards the switch over the button is, can I press it accidentally? Am I in a meeting and then my phone goes off?
True.
Am I are we in a podcast and suddenly my phone goes off? I know for sure I just have to do this, And that's it.
Fair enough.
Right? So that's my
Well,
gripe with it.
maybe it'll have multiple functionalities. Maybe
Maybe.
you press it to do one thing and press and hold to do another thing. Kind of like what
Possible.
the power button does, right? You press it to shut the screen off, or you press and hold to turn off the screen. Well, obviously you need to do volume up and down, but
Right.
regardless, that initial button still has two separate functionalities.
But
All right.
there's even the current iPhone 14 or whatever does come with a lot of functionality that a lot of people don't even use. Yeah, so there are, and I know it's built into the
Comes
iOS, and a lot of people, it's not very evident.
Yeah.
But I think just to add a little bit more convenience of use,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is there, but I think a lot of people just don't even know about it.
Okay, how about this one? I think this is potentially one of the biggest changes Apple can make, and I think they should have done this a long time ago. USB Type-C finally coming to the iPhone.
I will take it. And the reason I'll take it is right now, my, I guess, bedside table, you want to call it, has like 5 wires, 2 USB-Cs, 2 Lightning, and 1 for my watch. It gets annoying. It would be really nice to just have USB-C. It would be really nice to have that consistency across the board. So, yes for me.
Now, Apple still has 1 year until they legally have to do it, which is a requirement that the EU set about 2 years ago or something like that. I'm hearing that they will probably only do it on the Pro models, and they'll probably leave the Lightning cable on the regular base models.
Right.
They clearly still have a lot of accessories that they probably still have to move. So I think it might be a smart move for them to kind of split it up.
Right.
But what are the potential benefits of one cable fitting all devices?
Yeah.
Samir, we got iPads that now use USB Type-C.
Yeah.
We got MacBooks. We got AirPods. The future AirPods are going to be using USB Type-C, and now you're going to have the iPhones that are going to use USB Type-C. The amount of times I go on my trips and I always bring just one cable by accident, it's usually the USB Type-C, because I have everything else uses the USB Type-C. And then I'm like, shit, I forgot my Lightning cable. Now you won't have that problem.
Yeah.
One cable fits all.
Right.
Right.
But are you saying it's only limiting certain models? The 15 Pro?
That's what I'm currently hearing, and I think it would be a smart move by Apple.
Yeah.
Since they do have a whole year to still fulfill what they need to do.
Yeah.
They're obviously doing it a year earlier with the release of the Pro models, but I don't see them necessarily having to do that for the base models just yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking the 15 Ultra might get USB Type-C. I'm all for USB Type-C outside of the fact, like my only gripe with Type-C is for the long-term user, which you and I are not, is the fact that over time that the port tends to break. You keep plugging and unplugging the device, or you plug it in correctly, or you plug in your wired headphones incorrectly, you will break it. So if you don't have Apple Care, it's going to cost you like a pretty penny.
That's a good point. And also, I find that these Lightning cable ports are more prone to getting lint and dirt stuck into it.
Right.
Although it is a lot easier to clean, but I feel like they're more prone to it. I don't see Samsung models or USB Type-C models having that type of issue. So I think that's a
we will see.
It's a good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it moving. This is not a shocking one here, but let's see what you guys think. Dynamic Island coming to the base models, number one.
Okay.
And finally, a frosted back on the base models as well. So you're not going to have,
the gloss back.
Glossy with the fingerprint stuff,
I don't think that's that's that big of a deal. Like, yes,
maybe not to you, but will it potentially improve the sale of the base model? I don't know if that's what they want to do.
Having Dynamic Island, yes, absolutely will. The big question is, will it have 120 hertz?
That is a big concern, of course. I'm quite surprised that it's. I mean, but now you're comparing 120 hertz screen versus a Pro model that's also 120 hertz screen. I'm like, where are you? I feel like now the two models are just too identical.
Too identical. Well, my take on it is, Mike, we're in 2023, and this is $1,000 phone. This is last year's phone. The 13 Pro Max is last year's phone.
I agree.
if anyone came to me asking me, hey, what phone should I get? I always say get the Pro from last
So
year.
you're saying it should be the standard for any device.
Yes. The 120 hertz is like, it should be.
How about the
go-to.
cheaper phones? I'm not too sure. Are you familiar with the A54? I think that's the latest.
Is that
50
not
series.
90 hertz?
I don't even know. But
I think it's 90 hertz.
But it's better than.
That's
the 60
better
hertz.
than an iPhone. And then again, if I had to do 60 hertz, I would probably go with an iPhone 12 or 13 because that, in a nutshell, is exactly the same phone as the newer model.
With the dynamic island, I just want to know about the apps that support it. Is that something that they are going to work on and maybe get some more apps in there?
I'm actually surprised, Samir. They like in their keynote, they didn't talk about Dynamic Island all that much. There was not a whole lot of stuff with iOS 17 and Dynamic Island. I think it's going to be really good for base model users of the iPhone 13 and 14 moving up to a 15 to have Dynamic Island. Mm-hmm. But I think by then, if developers have more apps that support it, would be great. I think it's more of a availability play than a functionality play. I think it's just developers haven't gotten around to making it that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's saying they're trying to use it as one of the features of an upgrade and kind of giving it that kind of spotlight on.
Correct.
Like this is now you got iPhone 15, which is
I'll give you an
base
example.
model, which is now also got this.
I just want to share with you, like this is the screen of my Samsung. There's no dynamic island on it, but the moment I play my music, it starts playing here.
Oh, okay.
Like there's this reserved space at the bottom. And if iPhone can really implement that in their software for base model users, I think it will be really, really popular. Because we know the 14 wasn't. The regular 14 was not popular.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Moving forward, I've actually got some good news for Omar here.
Good.
It looks like the new color will not be red after all.
Yes.
So apparently it's now going to be a new shade of blue resembling a grayish blue color. Different from a space black, but also not as blue as a Pacific blue. Actually, the Samsung, apparently it's going to look like that icy blue. Would you like a color like that? What do you think?
I don't mind.
Yeah, that actually looks...
I remember the iPhone 5 when it originally came out.
Yeah.
Had it was called Slate, I think. Mm-hmm. And it had like a hint of blue in it.
For which one?
The iPhone 5. It was black, but if you the color was called Slate or something like that.
For iPhone, you're talking about the 5C?
Just the 5.
No.
The iPhone 5 in black was actually like a slate. That was the name back in the day.
No, but it was called Space Gray.
No, that was the 5S.
Oh, really?
That was the 5S.
No.
The 5, Akshay can look it up.
Can we search that up? I'm actually type in iPhone 5 colors.
5S or 5?
So it had a hint of blue, a lighter shade of that blue. Yes, would be nice to have. Though I like black now after using the 14.
I did not know about this color. Slate. Now, I know about the 5C. Yeah, those we know.
The regular iPhone 5. This is the 5S. It's right there. You scroll up the one above it. This one. That is not black. It had a hint of blue to it. And that's...
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
If that's the color they're bringing back, I think...
Yeah, click that.
Go
there.
Really well.
Scroll down. We'll let I'm curious.
Can you zoom in maybe? I don't know.
So that was actually called Slate?
I think so.
Yeah. So
Black
and slate. Wow.
Memory
I did
serves
not
me
know
right.
that. I do remember that. I thought it was initially just called black.
Yeah.
Or a matte black. That was a very close matte black.
That would be a nice color to
Black
have on
and
the
slate.
15.
I've never heard. I didn't. Oh, you learn something new every day, huh? And I thought I knew everything about iPhones. Okay. Now, how about this one? This is an interesting one over here. Base storage starting at 256 and potentially going up to 2 terabytes.
Right. I'm already using, my base storage starts at 512, but I really don't care as much because my cloud storage is 2 terabyte already. It's not something that would be too surprising, but it would be really nice to have because applications are getting bigger. Obviously a bigger RAM, like more RAM will be helpful as well, but 2 terabyte on an iPhone would be overkill still.
Yeah, I would
But
say
the
so.
1 terabyte would become... I don't know if they're going to do 256, 512, and 2 terabyte.
Yeah, but I'll put it like this to you. The iPad has 2 terabytes, and in my opinion, I feel like you probably would have way more information in terms of physical storage come onto an actual iPhone as opposed to an iPad? How many photos and videos do you actually take with your devices?
My take on that, Mike, is a little different. iPad users usually change their iPad in 3 to 4 years, which means there's more data accumulating over that time. Whereas iPhone users will be like 2 years and they'll change it. So it makes more sense on an iPad.
Yeah. And this is obviously for the people that don't use iCloud. You have the ability to use the iCloud. I personally don't use iCloud. I rely on my physical storage. I'm currently right now using 512. What are you at?
I'm at 512. Yeah, just 512 for everything.
Yeah, and you as well?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. It could be 256. It could be.
I'm at a 128, but you could pretty much say I'm at a 512. I'm pretty much at a 1
Can
TB.
we double check that, actually? I'm just curious. I want to see.
I have a feeling he has no fuck.
No fuck?
He has no idea.
Can I actually just see your phone real quick?
No, I can tell.
Okay. If it's a 512, respect to you, Samir. No, you go back. Go back.
It's 256.
It's 256. So pretty much 512.
I'm using half of
Samir, you crack me. Yeah. We don't use it. It's nice to have.
Yeah, I was just playing along.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. So what were we at? I wasn't listening.
256.
Pretty much. You're gonna be the base model soon, bro. All right. So we briefly spoke about potential price increases, right? Now, if they're gonna increase the storage from 128 to 256 all the way up to 2 TB, and then you're also going to add some more premium material such as titanium, without a doubt, there's going to be a price increase. Now, let's discuss a little bit about this potential price increase. Now, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus are set to remain at the current prices. I'm going to state the USD price, and then for our folks here in Canada, we're going to state the Canadian rates. So in the States, you got $7.99 and $8.99 for the 15 and 15 Plus respectively. Canadian rates are at $10.99 and $12.49. So that's going to remain the same here. Now, when we're going to bump it up to the 15 Pro and Pro Max models, whatever it's going to be called, apparently there's going to be a $100 increase for the 15 Pro. So it's going to jump from the $10.99 to the $10.99 to the $11.99. And in Canada, that's going to be a $14.99 starting off for a 14 Pro. Now,
Pro.
For a 15 Pro base model, right? Now, for the 15 Pro Max, original USD price is $12.99. They're saying it's potentially going to be $200 increase on the Pro Max model.
Possible.
That's going to be $14.99 USD and $17.49 Canadian just for a base model device. Now, clearly, majority of people are buying the Pro models. And right now, everything's super expensive.
Yeah.
Will this decline sales, or are people still going to buy it? What is your opinion here?
I think iPhone, being iPhone, will still sell like
As
crazy.
they always do.
I mean, if
without
they
a doubt.
don't, we won't have to line up and refresh our web pages that often. But if you got to look at trends. You look at the S23 series, it went up in price. You look at the Nothing phone, went up in price. These foldables, they are up by $100 or $200 as well. It won't be surprising if iPhone comes with a.
I mean, Apple has done this before. Let's be real. And they had a significant price increase.
Yes.
Do you remember the device that was just crazy at one point?
iPhone 10.
The iPhone 10 or the iPhone X.
Oh, yes.
This was not even that long ago, but back then the average price of phones were around $600 to $700. Then all of a sudden, Apple releases this brand new looking device that you've never seen before. No more home button. $9.99 USD and probably $12 or $11.99 Canadian at the time. People still bought it, and that thing sold out in. I don't know how long it took them to sell out, but it was so hard to get. But my point is that whatever Apple does in terms of pricing, people will always buy it. And
because they're into they've all signed up for the ecosystem, and so everything kind of works together. And they already know that Apple is good. I mean, it's got a really solid reputation.
Yeah.
And
I mean, how high of a price does it have to be for Apple to not sell their product?
Yeah.
It's realistic. I thought about that. I'm like, if a phone started off at $2,000, I'm pretty sure it would still sell.
It would.
People want it that bad.
Yeah.
People don't care about price as much as you think.
Right.
You know,
I think
obviously they do, but it's not like there's so much value that Apple adds and provides. It's like, oh, it's $2,000, no problem. It's still gonna hold its value. I'll just sell it. I mean, buy it and then eventually sell it for close to the same amount.
the only product that I can think of is the Mac. What's it called? The Mac Pro. The one that's $7,000 in Canada. I think that's the only product that's not gonna sell. But again, it's not meant for everybody. This is a more mainstream product.
That's definitely a very niche product, of course, especially when you have such great alternatives such as Mac Studio. If it was its own, if it was one of a kind, then people will buy more.
iPhone is gonna sell.
When you got a Mac Studio that's equally as powerful, maybe slightly less.
Yeah, they're gonna sell just fine. I don't think there's gonna be that big of an issue.
For sure. And I believe that is it for the updates and leaks. I'm personally super excited. I would love for us to get together even during the live event and just kind of do like a live edition.
Yeah, why not?
That would be fantastic. Do you guys have any finishing thoughts or remarks on the 15 here?
For me personally, the year so far in tech has, at least on the mobile side, has been very bland. Like more or less, you think about the S23 series, it's very much like the S22. You see the Fold 5, it's similar to the Fold 4. I just hope that the iPhone 15 has enough upgrades that justify that price point and enough upgrades that people want to switch, which obviously they will. But we're just getting a little bored. So I want to finish, I want to close the year on a high.
Of course. I mean, it'll be. I'll just say this. It will be very hard to match the same type of intensity to what the Apple Vision Pro did. Remember, that kind of just put the whole industry in a storm to a degree where everything else that we talk about is kind of like, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Samir?
Also, as far as the AI is concerned, I think a lot of new app development and a lot of new products in the iOS and everything is going to be able to handle this kind of AI app rollout, which is happening pretty much in every industry. So I think, I know that Apple is heavily invested in developing AI out of India. So I think that's going to be incorporated into the new phones that they're coming out with. And I think it's going to just add a lot more functionality as far as the customer is concerned. It's going to be more tailored towards certain apps are going to be tailored towards a certain target market, which is, again, going to bring that stickiness. It's going to bring that bring more people into the ecosystem. So I think Apple has positioned itself really well as far as the new iPhone and as far as AI is concerned. And I think they are definitely going to see some pretty amazing stuff.
Absolutely.
Cool. Are you guys ready?
Are
you ready? Are we ready for some tech trivia? Yes. All right, you guys ready? Yeah. I'm the dragon. Oh, how sick is that? I got the, I'm like a dragon.
All right.
But I'm a baby dragon.
I'm going to start it.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't even know what I am.
Kahoot. All right, so do I have to look at my phone, right?
Wait 1 sec. Okay, go.
Okay, question 1. How many approximate... What?
Read the question on the top. You're timed.
Oh, 4 seconds. Okay. I took a guess on that one. That was...
Oh, I didn't take it.
Okay, you guys have to be quick.
Yeah.
Okay, Samir didn't take that one. Next one.
All right.
Time's up. Really?
So what was the correct answer? See?
3.8 billion.
3.8
3.8 billion. How many approximate Google searches are there in a day? So we have to read these out as well for the folks, right? They have to understand what we're doing. Let's go next.
All right, next. Score. So you guys are all
0, 0, 0.
It's saying
What a
time's
stop.
up. Nothing's working. You're on the podium.
Just wait.
Bro, relax.
Patience, bro. All right, next question.
When was Samsung founded? This is a good one, actually.
You got 6 seconds, man. You guys got to hurry up.
Okay, I think I got this one. What was it correct?
All of you got it wrong.
Damn.
It was March.
1938?
Yeah,
That's
1938.
insane. I would have never
1938.
expected that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never expected that. Okay, next one. These are good questions. Who produced the first ever mobile phone?
You got 10 seconds, guys.
Okay. Damn. That's a guess for me, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one.
So whoever got Motorola,
Okay, that was not me. Damn.
So-
It's time like that
it's
too.
time like that too. So whoever clicks it first.
Okay.
Look at me.
So my
Samir.
dad's
All right,
in
let's
number
go.
1.
I'm kicking ass now, man.
Let's go.
So you got 20 seconds for this one.
Oh, there's a picture of it?
Yeah, that's the picture. So you guys got to guess based on the picture.
Nice.
You got 4 seconds. 3,
I know what
2,
that was.
1.
Okay, we all took a guess.
So you were all wrong.
I knew it was a sidekick at the end.
It was a sidekick, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Next one.
question.
What company was originally called Cadabra?
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who chose Amazon? Damn.
Yeah, so Amazon was the correct answer.
Damn, I would have never known about that.
So Omar's in the lead now.
Damn, I got to pick up the game.
You got to pick up the game, Michael.
Okay, let's go.
All right, true or false?
First, Tesla was released in 2008. It's a long... Okay, and... Yes, I got a point.
Okay, Michael's on the board.
All right, let's go.
That's easy.
It's an easy one.
All right, everyone got that right. The answer was California.
Okay, let's go.
Next question. I don't know where the sound is.
Created
for this.
in 1990, our cheese was the first ever what?
It was this one.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I said internet search engine, and it was correct.
Yeah, it was it.
Ooh, am I gonna? Yeah, let's go.
Michael's
I
taking
remember.
over Omar.
Let's go.
I remember
All
that
right.
one. Archie's.
Slight edge over here.
All right, we
You guys
got
got to catch up, man.
you got 2 more questions.
Let's go.
Two more questions.
I'm gonna win this. All right. What was the name of a famous device used in the 90s?
So based on the photo,
Oh. Can I change my? Can I change it?
you
No?
can't change it once you click
Come
it.
on,
it's
man. Well, hopefully I got this right.
9.
Oh, I got it right.
Got it right.
Damn.
So the answer was Palm Pilot.
Let's go.
Michael's number 1 now. From 0
That's what I'm talking
to
about.
number 1.
Yeah, I
All
knew
right.
that. I didn't want to change it. I'm lying.
All right, the last and final question, guys.
Okay, let's do this. What e-commerce company has been called the Amazon of Japan? And I'm gonna... Okay.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
I knew this is wrong, but fuck it, I'm
Damn
taking a
it.
guess.
You got it right.
Whoever got Rakuten got it right.
Was that Samir?
Samir.
So let's see who's third place. Third place was
Oh,
Omar.
I think Samir won this.
Second place was Michael. And first place was Samir. Let's go.
Samir, do a happy
Yo,
dance.
Samir has been winning a lot
Yes,
lately.
he has.
Oh, man.
In tennis, and I played him in tennis. He's a killer, man. This guy knows
Good.
how to play tennis.
You know, play
Yeah.
tennis?
Yeah.
Let's play.
I don't know if you're that good. Is he that good?
He's pretty good, yeah. He would destroy me and Akshay and you combined.
Okay. Let's
Okay, let's make this a challenge then.
let's
right?
do a round of doubles to start with.
Okay.
Samir and whoever versus me and whoever.
How about me and Samir versus you and Akshay?
Akshay, do you play?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
plays.
yeah, I play.
Okay.
It's pretty
sure.
solid.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pretty solid.
Let's do it. Done.
Let's set up that game, and then the loser has to buy the other crew
Well, he owes us
Lunch.
lunch twice.
I owe you
Yes,
lunch?
3 times.
Like twice.
Yeah. Really?
3 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who's counting?
And then you also said that you were going to quit the business once.
Did I?
Yeah, if you got the answer wrong.
Which business?
I don't know what business. I don't know what you've got your hands into here, Samir. And, okay, tennis. So,
All right, guys. So we have just completed our 9th episode, and we are approaching our 10th episode very, very shortly.
soon.
So I am so happy that we can get to the big 1-0,
yes.
and I can't wait to add another 0 to the end of that. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining us on today's podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
you.
you
guys for being on this podcast because you're on this podcast every freaking day anyways.
Any day, anytime.
All right, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, we would greatly appreciate it if you press the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that like button as well. Also, we'd love to hear your feedback. Post a comment. Let us know what you guys think. And also, don't forget to check out our brand new website that launched recently, www.flipafone.com. That's FlipaFone.com. You can see all of the goodies on there. iPads, iPhones, drones, Dyson product. Check it all out there. And we greatly appreciate our viewers. We love you. And that's all, folks. And let's call it a day.